And now it's time for our educational speech, a more informative speech. Let me give a brief description about her. She has been a Toastmaster since 2010. She served in various club roles before moving on to serving as a district level. She is a past director of Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka. During her term, our district ranked World 2. Great, right? Professionally, she is a banking domain consultant with TCS. By the time you would have guessed her, yes, she is none other than our distinguished Toastmaster Suganti. Her speech title is How Can I Leverage Toastmaster Program to Improve My Leadership Skills? Put your hands together to welcome our distinguished Toastmaster Suganti.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Renuka. Good afternoon, Ocean Toastmasters and guest Toastmasters from other clubs. Congratulations to Ocean Toastmasters Club on reaching this milestone meeting. Kudos to you and wish you many, many more milestone meetings in the days to come. Yes, I've been asked to speak about how one can leverage Toastmasters in everyday life. I know we have already, given the current pandemic situation, I think motivation and inspiration is flowing left, right, center from all directions. You go on to WhatsApp, you go on to any social media, you get onto a team meeting at work or a Toastmasters meeting. I think everybody wants to motivate and inspire people. So I think today I'll share four lessons that I've learned in my Toastmasters journey, which has helped me to leverage those lessons and climb up in my leadership journey in my professional as well as my Toastmasters life. And towards the end, I'll probably take a few questions in case if you have any. All right. The first lesson that I learned in my Toastmasters journey is to say yes, but to ask after asking why. I repeat, learn to say yes, but after asking why. It was the year 2010 when I joined Toastmasters without even knowing what Toastmasters program is all about. You must have all known now it's time for this Medley membership building program. My club wanted a fifth member to be added. And on September 30th, like a scapegoat, I got caught and the president somehow cajoled me into joining the Toastmasters club, and I joined the club without even attending a single meeting. And then the month of December, they had the club elections. In my absence, they elected me as the club secretary. Till then, I didn't even know the club had a secretary. All that I knew was the club had a president. And then in the month of March, when we were busy doing the renewals, my club was 85 members strong. Not that we had 85 people in every meeting. We will have probably about 20 to 25 members in every meeting. But then in the month of March 2011, I learned that my club was 85 members big. And then on April 1st, you know how big my club was? Just 6 members. Not even all the 7 of the EXCOM members renewed. So 6 of us from the EXCOM renew, and we were down to 5. And then I was sent to attend this division council meeting. That time the whole of Tamil Nadu was only one division called Division G. And the division director asked, where's your club president? Where's the VPE? Where's the VPM? I said, they're all not there. And that is why this poor secretary has come to represent the club. And she asked, do you know your club is the talk of the town? I was like wondering what great things have we achieved. And then before even I could get over the surprise, she said, not a single club in the entire division has faced so much of attrition like yours. How can you all afford to come down from 85 to just 6 members? I didn't even know what Toastmasters program was all about at that time. I was just 2 speeches old in Toastmasters. I didn't have an answer, but then when I came back, I felt really very, very bad because we were the talk of the town for the wrong reason. I went up to my president and my mentor and I said, is there something that we can do? Now in Toastmasters, I figured out if you go and ask, is there something that I can do? Immediately they'll give you a responsibility and they'll ask you to go ahead and do it. They said the secretary work is not important for a club that is only 6 members strong. We will very actively need a vice president membership. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might see me as a very extroverted person, but by nature and people who are very close to me will very strongly agree that I'm a semi-introvert. So at that point of time, as a vice president membership, your responsibility is to go talk to all these guests who come into meetings, tell them about Toastmasters, which I myself wasn't completely aware of, and of course keep inviting them back to your meetings. And I was thinking, I'm this person who would even meet my so-called colleagues in the corridor, smile at them from a distance, and when they come close by, I put my head down and walk past them. I wouldn't even stop to have a conversation with them unless and until I knew them really very well. And imagine if you have a vice president membership, you can't have a person who puts her head down each time she sees a guest or a prospective member, right? But then I said yes. And for me, the why was because we cannot afford to just have 6 members and keep running a meeting. So I was very convinced of this why portion of my endeavor. So whether I liked it or not, I started acting as if I'm a very interested person in talking to people, explaining about Toastmasters. And over a period of time, it became a habit and I started enjoying talking to people. And what really motivated me was there were people who came into Toastmasters, who delivered a few speeches. And when they went back to their projects, they were able to attend interviews and pass them quite successfully. They got better feedback from their clients, and some of them even went up for higher studies. So those stories made my life as a VPM quite meaningful. And I'm really very glad that I said a yes. People say that we should know to say no. But for me, from Toastmasters, what I learned is say yes. Don't think too much about the resources. The resources and all the helping hands will definitely come very soon to your door, but just have the grit and determination to say yes if you're convinced about the why. The next lesson that I learned in Toastmasters is progress is more important than perfection. And this quote was said by the very famous Simon Sinek. Now, in a club that has only 6 members, meetings cannot be run to perfection. Or even take today's Zoom meetings, virtual meetings, almost if there are no technical glitches, I think that is like once in a blue moon meeting. If the meeting starts on time and ends on time, then that is again a meeting that we can all celebrate. Or take personal goals, professional goals, or family goals. Many of us are stuck while trying to attain perfection. Okay, let's say I want to start running. I will start running when I'm able to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and then go for a jog. Now, what happens if I get up at 5:30? I never used to go for that run. And this went on for many years. For me, attaining perfection, starting something and doing perfectly meant more than starting something and progressing it. But then when I came into Toastmasters, I found out that when you have to work with members from different backgrounds and their pace is different from your pace, you can't afford to start something and do it with the same kind of capability that you have, and you can't expect your team members also to keep stepping up and match your speed. And that is when I learned it is okay to start something, but keep progressing consistently. So consistency is the key here. So people might say different things. People might say, do you want to go do shabby work? Do you want to do all this short slip work and stuff like that? But then remember, we all didn't start running the day that we were born. We crawled, we fell down, we rose up. There were people to help us to start walking. But then eventually one day we all started walking, jogging, or running. So the next lesson that I learned in Toastmasters, and especially in my leadership journey, where you have to work as a team player, team leader, and lead people from different backgrounds, some of them whom you know personally, some of them who you know remotely. It is very important to know that consistency and progress is more important, and perfection will definitely come to your doorstep very, very soon. And in that journey, learn to be a little empathetic towards your team members, understand what their strengths and weaknesses are, and then take them along with you in your journey. The next lesson, of course, that I learned in my Toastmasters journey, which was really very, very helpful, is measure your goals. They say what does not get measured does not improve. Now, many times we say that we want to run quality meetings. Now, what do you mean by quality if you're not able to measure it? Now, you say that you want to become a better speaker. Now, how do you rate yourself? Will you say, okay, my speech is becoming better because my R count has come lower? Or is my speech better if I'm able to deliver a more meaningful value to my audience? Or is my speech better if I'm able to recollect all that is scripted? What is your measure? This is again something in Toastmasters that I learned, because although we were a club which had 85 members and people just randomly walked in, we had brilliant evaluations, very inspirational speeches. At the end of it, when we dropped from 85 to 6 members, where did all that wonderful meetings go? People don't know, right? So in Toastmasters, or be it in your family, professional or personal lives, if you were to set goals, measure them. Keep measuring what is that you want to achieve in a week's time, in a month's time, in a year's time, and see how you can inch closer to those goals. So again, this could also be put, for example, if you are an XCOM and you want to make your meetings more interesting, quantify what does interesting mean. And above all, in today's virtual world, please do quantify the time that you also spend in XCOM meetings. Just because we don't have to spend money for venue and snacks and stuff like that. Recently, our XCOM meetings keep also going beyond an hour or two, and we keep debating. It seems that as if we have a lot of time on hand and we wonder what can we do to make our club meetings more interesting. Or sometimes we get onto the phone with our mentor and keep asking all these questions. That particular sentence in my speech, was it okay, and stuff like that. So quantify everything, set your goals, quantify them, measure your progress, and also quantify the amount of help that you are getting in from others. Because today in Toastmasters, the beautiful thing is we have a lot of people who are willing to come and help us. But I think after a particular period of time, we should also be in a position to go and give back that good help that we've received from our mentors, seniors, our fellow club members, to other members who are in need. So go ahead and measure your goals. But then the catch is this: measure your goals, but not with somebody else's ruler, because you are not somebody else. The next lesson that I learned in my Toastmasters journey, which really helped me immensely in my professional journey, is be yourself. Now, when I joined Toastmasters, I came across this person who spoke in black and white. I did not master diplomacy then. I haven't mastered diplomacy till date. For me, right is wrong, right is right, wrong is wrong. There's nothing called as politically right for me. And in my journey as a Toastmaster, coming from the vice president membership to the president, the area director, and moving on in my district leadership role, people always said that I'm a very blunt person, and many even advised me that I could do with a little more diplomacy. But then I realized that in your evolution as a Toastmaster leader, let's say, the day that when I was a vice president membership, the shy person that I was, if I had to start acting beyond a point to which I could not tolerate myself in order to get guests, I wouldn't be the person that I am. The club could have been successful. I could have been a successful VPM, but I wouldn't have been a successful me. So in my Toastmasters journey, the biggest lesson that I learned is to be yourself, because there is nobody else in this world that can be you. Everybody else is taken. So whatever you want to do in life, create a brand for yourself. We could all be professionally successful. Some of us could be technically proficient. Some of us could be amazing speakers. Some of us could be fantastic evaluators. But at the end of the day, what are you as an individual? What is that you are standing for? What is the brand that you represent for yourself? So be yourself and create the beautiful you, because being ourselves is the most difficult thing to do in today's world. It's very easy to copy somebody else because that person is liked by so many people and stuff like that. But beyond all those, when you sit by yourself and you retrospect, Are you happy being yourself? So go ahead, be yourself and create your brand. To sum it up, all the 4 lessons that I learned, the first one is to say yes to all opportunities that come our way, only if you are convinced about the why portion of it. The second thing, strive for progress, because progress is more important than perfection. The third, of course, is measure your goals, but always measure your goals not using someone else's ruler. And of course, the third and the last favorite lesson of mine is be yourself, because everybody else is taken. I like to end my session with a favorite quote of mine. This quote, I'm borrowing it from the character called, my favorite character, Batman. And Batman says, all men have limits. They learn what those limits are and they learn not to exceed them. I just ignore mine. I'll repeat it. All men and of course women have limits. They learn what those limits are and they learn not to exceed them. I just ignore mine. So, ladies and gentlemen, on this auspicious day of independence, let us break our barriers. Let us unleash the hidden potential that we have within ourselves. Let's go break every single limitation that we have been conceiving in our minds. Let's be the better person that we all want to be. And in that journey of transforming ourselves, let us also uplift the people around us and make this Toastmasters fraternity and the world that we live in a better place to live in. Thank you very much for having me here. And I think we've got another 2 or 3 minutes left. If there are any questions, I'll be glad to take them up.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Sugandhi. I have a question. What was the toughest challenge that you have faced so far in the Toastmasters journey?
The toughest decision was to get people to accept me as a person, breaking the barriers of being a young women leader who came across quite bluntly. So I think breaking that image that people had about me was in fact the toughest thing that I had to do all through my Toastmasters journey.
Okay. Over to the audience for other questions. Sweta and others. Sweta's, I can see from her expression that she's framing some questions, so that's why I called on her.
Yeah, I'm Toastmaster Kiran.
Yes, Kiran.
Here I do have one question. When you joined to Toastmaster, right? How did you overcome this fear? When we want to give some speeches, at the time we were getting some tense kind of things. Okay, how did you overcome so that it will helpful for us?
Yeah, sure. My mentor told me a brilliant piece of advice, but then take it with good sense. He said, look at the audience and think them as they are fools. Please don't mistake me. The reason is the subject that you're going to speak about is something that you are very proficient of. And if you start thinking that you are the most confident speaker in the room and you are the best, I think all the butterflies that you have in your stomach will translate into energy that will give you that will help you to overcome the nervousness when you're on stage. So whenever you go and look at the audience, first thing, think as though they are fools in the right sense. And second thing is all the audience there are sitting there waiting for you to succeed. So look at them, they're expecting a lot from you. So think about all those positives and I'm sure those butterflies will churn into good energy. So this is a vital piece of information that I got from my mentor.
Yeah, thank you.
DTM Sugandhi, this is Ganga here.
Yes, ma'am.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
You're a person who has really come up the ladder from what you said as an introverted person who knew nothing about Toastmasters to where you are now. And a lot of us look up to you. how important do you think your mentor has been in your journey, and what do you think is the responsibility of a mentor to someone who has achieved so much? Do you still go back to your mentors?
Thank you. That's a very profound question. Mentoring is very important. First of all, yes, in a world which is fast running, we definitely need someone who will be able to assess our strengths and weaknesses and help us understand what works well for us and where we can improve. And the most important thing is a mentor is also somebody who will help you to stay grounded, which I think is very essential in today's what I call in today's volatile world. And yes, I do keep going back to my mentors. And in case if you are a mentor, my only request is please don't make your mentees another version of them of yourself. Please do allow them to be themselves and see how you can bring out a better version of them. And I'm really very thankful because all the mentors that I've been going to have been able to give me a lot of advice. And one vital piece of advice that one of my mentors gave me is, I might tell you X number of things, but go sit back and see what works for you and what is comfortable for you, where you'll be able to be yourself. So again, go ahead and choose any number of mentors that you want. People sometimes have a mentor for speaking journey, for leadership journey, for club role, and many fancy things. People want to have as many mentors they can, and they think that the more number of mentors, more value will come to them. But please do understand what is that will add value and which is helpful to you. You need not take up every single idea or advice a mentor gives. And again, the mentors, please allow the mentees to be themselves.
Thank you so much for your answer. Thank you.
All right, I think the time is up. Thank you very much, Oceans Toastmasters, for having me here. Again, congratulations to all of you on reaching this milestone. Milestone are just members. Keep going stronger. Wish you many more milestones in the days to come, and keep scaling greater heights. All the very best, and over to the MC Toastmaster, Renuka.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Shukanti, for sharing the 4 top-notch lessons on how we can improve our leadership skills. For me, there are 2 key takeaways. Learn to say yes after asking why. The second one, be yourself. Thank you, Toastmaster Shukanti, DTM Shukanti.